Good evening, everyone. It's been a long evening, so my group has already told me, be brief, brother, be brief. Look, I want to thank TALF for recognizing me. You know, what a great organization, so thank you so much. Also to Kay Ramke for nominating me.
All right, Kay.
I worked with her many years ago at Honorees. Well, let me tell you, I didn't start out as a Wildcat. I started out as a Falcon. And so that was and I had a divided family. My older brothers and sisters were Wildcats. And then my brother Jerry ended up he was a group that integrated Thorn Ridge High School, and he made me a Falcon in the 70s. And so worked at Thorn Ridge, and my heart was with Thorn Ridge, and after I graduated from college, I coached at Thorn Ridge, coached a state champion over there, Antonio Cooper. So had some really great years there, and then a job opened up at Thorn. I applied, I was hired, but I had mixed emotions about coming to Thorn because I hated Thorn. There was that huge rivalry, Thorn Ridge and Thorn. But I tell you what, I fell in love though with the Thorn tradition. I fell in love with the school, I fell in love with the history of it. I worked with the Centennial Committee, and I learned so much about Thorn then. I mean, you had all these people coming in and celebrating 100 years, and I became the historian for Thorn because I would learn all this information. I was just a book of knowledge about all the great things that happened at this great school. And I've got a kind of a little bit of claim to fame. I was the last group to take a class up to the 4th floor at Thorn. I was taking groups of kids up there. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do it. Yeah, but so I had a chance to work, and I saw the greatness. And then one day, this guy walked into my classroom, and he says, "I understand that you have this program where you bring in speakers to talk to kids about careers." I said, "Well, yeah, I do." He said, "Well, I'd like to help." Tall, good-looking guy, smooth. And he says, "My name is Lamar Thomas." Didn't know, I had heard about Lamar Thomas. Lamar and my brother Marvin had gone to school together, and Marvin used to talk about how great Lamar was and everything, how great an athlete he was. Well, I got a chance to work with Lamar, and Lamar would bring once a month, he would bring in a speaker to talk to my students. And I mean, I'm talking about people like Tom Dreesen, I'm talking about Dan Houston. I mean, he would bring in all these great, and I was just immersed in it. I think I got more out of it than the kids did. But it was great seeing all these great people come back, and that Thornton pride would shine through when they walked through that building. And so I knew Lamar. I didn't know him as an athlete, but I can tell you what, as great of an athlete he was even a better person. And this organization, Thornton, is a better place for having Lamar Thomas in our lives. And in closing, working with kids, believe me, I was not the best teacher around. But what I did, though, I learned something from a former principal of mine. And he said, you make sure that you make every kid feel special in your classroom. And so I tried to do that, over the years. Kids don't care how much you know until kids know how much you care. And so I tried to do that and try to make kids know that they were important and they were special. And I think that's why my 25 years at Thornton went so quickly. That old saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Hey, that was me for 25 years at Thornton High School. Thank you so much. Go Wildcats.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, you can just read the book. I'll sit down. And I'm not promising to be short. It doesn't equate to last. Everything I ever really learned about education, I learned at Thornton High School. I was at Thornwood in 1974, and I got to know that beautiful, wonderful Thornton speech department. And in 1976, in the spring, Jim Clark offered me to take an opening at Thornton. And I have to say, I was thrilled. The department was great, and Jim, he so boosted my confidence that I really needed at the time. From the moment I met him, and he told me how talented I was and all the things that I could do for the department. So I was ready. The fall of 1976, tea house of the August move. I was given the job of prop mistress. And for one of my main props, the director wanted me to secure a live goat. Yes, I said a live goat. What were you thinking, Mr. Clark? He was Mr. at the time. So I drove my truck up to Lamb's Farm in Libertyville.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I rented a live goat. And this goat was really alive. He did not like the accommodations I offered him. I mean, after all, his name was Yankee Doodle Dandy, and he was born on the 4th of July. So I brought that goat back, and we housed that smelly goat for over a week. Thank you, Jim Clark. No, I really mean it, thank you. Jim, you're so wise when you don't even know you're going to be wise, because that goat became the icon of my teaching career. It did. I mean, let's look at the goat, the personality, what it represents. Goats prefer to be with other goats. They'd rather be with flocks. That's me. Goats prefer, they represent sacrifice in religious and literary works. And they tend to be good followers until they are really, truly sure they are ready to move on. Now, Thornton High School was the warmest block this goat has ever been a part of. The faculty was so warm and united, and they really loved kids. You know, this was just a handful of years after the Thornton Community College was part of Thornton, and there were the riots and there was turmoil. And I think these hard times brought this staff together, and they had a close bond that lasted the whole time I was at Thornton. You go to the lounge, and later in my life I did not see this. You go to the lounge and there was laughter. There was major decompression, but there was laughter. The teachers went out after school, and we even had a faculty talent show. No lie, I got to sing "It Had to Be Jim." And then the principal made ribs for everybody who attended the talent show. The students in the theater department, they were so talented. I mean, they were. And so hungry to achieve. The parents were actually grateful and supportive. You called a parent about a disruptive child, they were right on it. You know, it was really a wonderful life. Now, with teaching comes sacrifice. That's the way it is. I spent most of my waking hours, truly, not even exaggerating, at Thornton High School. But it was totally my choice. I loved every minute of planning, teaching, directing, and simply being with those wonderful students, talking about life, talking about their problems. Sacrifice? I think not. The rewards of love and appreciation I received from those students made any sacrifice a pleasure. And when they would come to school in the morning, they came and greeted us in the speech office to say hello. And after school, they worked. And when we were done working, they'd want to work some more. And this is really the truth. And they were always looking for time. And we had a wonderful team that was always ready there to assist them. They loved the theater, and on they thrived. Plays, the speech team, contest play, group interpretation. They thrived. They were state known. And you know what the most wonderful part is? They still thrive today. How wonderful to have been a part of a program that continues to flourish yet unto today. And the common link between then and now is simply Thornton High School students. You know, with all the time I spent at school, I forgot to get married, and I might regret not having children of my own, but I have hundreds of them, many that I still see. And one of them in particular is sitting over there, Jennifer, who was my student, and her children, her two wonderful boys, call me Grammy. And I never had to spend a penny for college tuition. Sacrifice? No way! I believe I was a good flock member. Yeah, maybe. I observed, I listened, I learned, and while a faculty member, I learned from all the leaders around me. Jim Clark's leadership, if I was going to try to imitate it, would be a little difficult because he was terribly unique. I mean, he was Jim. But what I got from him and what I used for the rest of my administrative life was listen, stay calm, and think about kids first. He had a wonderful way of getting people to follow and to come unto him. He would ask me to do something that really was above and beyond what I might have been doing, and of course I was going to do it. But he always added, I really hate to ask you this, you do so much, but nobody can do this as good as you could. Did he trick me? No. He inspired me. He empowered me. And I moved on to the world of administration. I still directed on the sly at other high schools because directing was really what I wanted to do. I loved every school I worked at in my career, and I was known for singing in every hallway. But the memories from Thornton, my department here, some of my colleagues here, I mean, those were the best memories and the most vivid in my mind. We just had a great time. In 2008, I retired to a life of, guess what? Theater. As the chairperson of the IHSA Drama and Interpretation Committee, I now have the chance to place medals on the talented students from Thornton.
All right.
All right, and that's a real thrill. And as a member of the Chicago Joseph Jefferson Theater Awards, I review former students in professional theater. Last month, I went to the pajama game in Munster, Indiana. And I saw the program for the pajama game, and lo and behold, Cynthia Carter. She was in the 1978 production of A Raisin in the Sun. What a joy to see her, and she was really good. Then I go off to see plays in New York. I can't escape these kids. On Broadway, I've had the pleasure to see Jacques Smith, Mary Randall, Michael Boatman, and Austin Smith, who is the son of Jeffrey Smith, one of my very favorite students in the world. And he was in Hamilton, no less. I got the tickets at actors' prices. It was great. There must be something in the water here. There's got to be, because you go to a play, turn on the TV, go to a movie, and you will find the face of a Thornton High School graduate.
All right.
So the joy continues. Oh, one more thing about goats. Since I was the girl on the goat. They are basically shy animals. I know no one's going to call me shy who knows me, but I truly am shy about certain social measures. Don't post my picture on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. But again, Thornton High School has changed my life. That picture on the wall of the hall of Thornton High School marks way above my proudest moments. Mom, Dad, did you see it? From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, distinguished committee, and Mr. Clark, and Mr. Dr. Clark and Dr. Swanstrom, for that second award you just gave me, Paul. Thank you. Jim, you have given me a lifetime of support. And you were so right about me getting the goats.